Hello everybody, welcome back to C7 Corvettes in beautiful sunny Sarasota, Florida. It's your Corvette buddy Lyle here to talk to you about more interesting, exciting, and hopefully helpful Corvette stuff. Today we're going to revisit and expand on a topic that we talk about frequently here, torque tubes on C5, C6, and C7 Corvettes. As you guys are probably aware by now, if you watch the channel with any regularity, rebuilding torque tubes is one of the main jobs that we do here at our workshop for people from all over the country. And one of the options that people have, depending on how they drive their car, is to have new rubber couplers installed on their drive shaft, or to have a new custom drive shaft installed that eliminates those couplers completely. Now, there are certain things that work that way for street driving and certain things that don't. Let's go over the pros and cons of deleting the rubber couplers in your C5, 6, 7 torque tube. Now, clearly there are some solid pros to deleting the rubber couplers out of your torque tube. Obviously, it's going to give you a stronger drivetrain. You now have hard parts bolted together all the way front to back. There is no twist, there is no wiggle, and there's also no rubber to fall apart in 8 or 10 years and have to cause you to do this again. It's a much more direct power transfer. If you are a drag racer or a road course racer or autocross racer, when you stab the pedal and the engine turns and you want your wheels to turn at the same time with no twist, no delay, eliminating those rubber couplers does give you a little bit better direct feel. It doesn't have any sponginess to it. As I mentioned already, there's no rubber left to deteriorate, because rubber, no matter how good quality it is going to deteriorate with time and age. If you are pushing the car hard, the reliability under load is going to be uniform every single time when you have that purely metal on metal connection all the way from the rear of the engine to the front of your transmission. It also simplifies the design, and if you do need to get back in there, there shouldn't ever have to be anything adjusted. If you need to do something in there, you unbolt it, you bolt it back up, and you're done. And most importantly, for those of you who demand high performance from your cars and use them in a hard, rough way, this gives you a much stronger drive line. It can handle up from 800 to 1,000 pound-feet of torque, depending on the material and construction. But if you are really, really jamming that car into gear and hammering the gas, this setup is going to survive and thrive longer than a coupler setup. Obviously, anytime you have a list of pros, there is a corresponding list of cons, things that maybe aren't so great, or things that you're going to give up in one area to get pros out of another area. In this particular case, by going with the solid drive shaft, you're going to have increased NVH, which is noise, vibration, and harshness. The rubber couplers normally absorb vibrations from the engine and the drivetrain and makes everything just run a little quieter, a little smoother. Once you eliminate those, you are going to necessarily get more vibration and noise and a little bit more harshness in your drivetrain. There's also less forgiveness under shock loads. During hard launches or sudden traction loss, the rigid connection sends that shock through the entire driveline, potentially stressing the torque tube, diff, or mounts for the torque tube and diff. This is where, guys, if you are going to be pushing your car this hard and you have installed a solid drive shaft, eliminated your couplers, you're pushing 500, 600, 700 horses on the racetrack, and you're go, 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 you had better have strengthened the mounts and the mountings for your differential, in particular at the rear, because if you don't, there is no give with the rubber anymore. Breaking the case of your differential is a legitimate concern, especially in the C5. So make sure, if you are building a car with that kind of power and you are eliminating any of the cushion in the driveline, that you've done something to solidify that mounting at the back and solidify that case of the differential, so you don't end up having a serious and time-consuming and expensive problem down the road. And lastly, the final con to a solid drive shaft conversion is they aren't cheap, especially if you go with custom aluminum or a carbon fiber design. I mean, the aluminum ones that Hinton Motorsports makes start at about $1,100. Granted, you won't ever have to do couplers again, which is a lot of labor involved in getting that in and out. So I can see where, especially in a car that's being pushed hard and is making power, this would be a good trade-off. You're probably trading dollars if nothing else, but you are going to have that initial of money out to buy the part. So bottom line, a solid drive shaft setup is really best suited for cars making serious power, forced induction, drag racing, or high-end performance street builds. Owners who don't mind some additional noise, vibration, and harshness for the sake of durability and response. You don't want somebody just slapping this together because things need to be measured out. You need to make sure that the drive shaft that you order is specifically for your car and the transmission setup that it's with, so that all the lengths are exactly correct, because you don't want your overall drive shaft to end up being this much longer or this much shorter than the original, because that's going to cause problems. If your car is mainly a street cruiser and you don't push the car hard and you're not making 800 horses or 700 horses, keeping the good quality rubber couplers are probably going to offer you a better balance between comfort and reliability, and you probably won't put enough miles or put enough stress on the car to need to do this again in 10 or 12 years. And that's usually about how long it takes to wear through this stuff. So this is really more focused on you who are really going at it full tilt boogie. Now, there is a third option, and I didn't really cover it much in here because in our experience, it's kind of fraught with problems. You can buy billet aluminum couplers. You'd think that it's the same thing as just buying a drive shaft, just a lot less expensive. It isn't, because we've installed probably 25 sets of those at customer request. And every time we have to go through and shim the bolts that go into both sides of that coupler to make sure that the overall length from the back of the bearing carrier to the tip of the input shaft is identical to what it started life as when we took it apart. And I have yet to find a set of billet couplers that are plug and play, that don't require any shims, any washers, anything. And that costs time to figure all that out. Now, if you have done billet couplers and you didn't have to do anything to that, put in the comments below who you got them from, because I'd be interested in learning more about them. But for now, according to the things I've done and we know, I prefer the option of the solid drive shaft over the billet couplers. And hey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Still see the 72% of you out there who ain't subscribed yet. Don't make me come looking for you. If you have other questions about this, put them in the comments below. Thank you for hanging out with me today, and I hope you found this useful. Take care.